is Dave at TR4A.com. I've been trying to think about how I can improve my gauges. My temperature gauge that I have is a stock Jagger gauge, and try as I may, about the only thing it tells me for sure is the water is not cold anymore. I know my thermostat for my electric fan kicks on and off, so I know the water gets up to 170 degrees or so, and it turns on and off, so it's regulating okay. But I just don't have a way to tell what the actual water temperature is. And I also wanted to install a oil temperature gauge. And as you know, in a Triumph, you only have 4 holes for gauges. So what I found was this gauge here. It's a Smith's gauge that's actually built for an MGB, I think. And I think it goes in Austin Healey's too. But it's a 52 millimeter diameter gauge, and it has oil and water. And the nice thing about it is it's all mechanical. You can see it's got the flexible line here with the bulb on the end to go into the thermostat housing. And one of the things that I should have bought 2 of is they make an adapter that goes in the hole where the electric temperature sensor goes, and that's this bad boy here. This thread goes into the, you remove the electric sensor, and there's a copper crush washer you put on here, screw this into the aluminum thermostat housing, and then this end screws into this guy. I'm trying to do this with one hand. See, the problem, here's the problem. Let me get this around here. Come on. Oh, shit. Okay, here's the bulb part of the temperature gauge, and this would screw into theoretically into the block or whatever, but there's nothing to this has to be supported. You can't just screw this in and push up against here because there's nothing to seal. So what this does, this goes into the block, and then with a copper crush washer here, and then this guy goes on here like this. I'm trying to do this with one hand again. You get the idea. Anyway, this screws into the block. So what I have to do is thread this through this flexible line carefully through the dash up to where the sensor is on the engine, and then put this guy together on that end, and I should have the temperature gauge. Now in the oil gauge, it has a standard fitting here, and what this stainless steel braided hose is one I got from TSI Imports. But when I put it on the stock gauge, I was getting leaks around here, so I'm told to put I should put liquid TFE, basically liquid Teflon, inside the thing to before I screwed it together, just to keep it from leaking. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up first, this temperature or the oil pressure gauge, out of the car, because this in here just screws into the line coming off where the oil filter goes in. So I'm going to hook that up, try this out, and make sure it doesn't leak, because now I got a radio in the car. It's a major pain in the ass if this thing starts leaking. I wouldn't even know it until it was too late. So that's step 1, is to get that gauge. So to get back to what I was saying, I have a 52 millimeter gauge now that has water and oil, so that leaves an empty opening for the gauge. Oh, by the way, the best place I found to buy this is British Parts Northwest up in Oregon, and Moss wanted, I think, $165 for it, and British Parts Northwest was $134 and change, so good deal. And then, so now here's what I found for my oil temperature. Again, it's a mechanical gauge. I have a aluminum sump on my car, so this part will go into the oil pan, but unfortunately I only got one of these things. I got to get order one of these again, so I can't quite do all this right now, but I just need to order another one of these little adapter gizmos in a crush washer, and then I should be able to put it in there. So, but anyway, this is going to go. I'm going to put this gauge in the upper left-hand corner where the current water temperature is. So that'll get my oil pressure and my water temperature. This guy for my oil temperature, I'm going to put in the lower left hole where the see, what is that? That's oil pressure. So it should be a pretty good setup, I think. Again, it's a 52 millimeter gauge. It's got a hole. They both have holes for the lights, so I'm pretty sure I can use the stock Triumph lighting. You know, as pathetic as that is. But anyway, that's it for tonight. I just wanted to show you guys the gauges, and I should be able to. I want to try to get the temperature and water pressure, or water temperature gauge and oil pressure gauge in this weekend. And I'm gonna go ahead and order one of these other adapters tomorrow. So I should have that by next week, and I can put in the oil temperature gauge. That's gonna be a little messy, you know, because I have to take the I have to drain some oil out of the tank, out of the pan to get it low enough to where when I put this, there's a plug in the side of the oil pan, my aluminum oil pan for temperature sensors. So I gotta get that plumbed up so I can do that without sacrificing too much oil. I guess I'm probably have to drain some out. It's not really ready for an oil change yet, but it may be a partial oil change. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Stay tuned. I'll be posting more probably later on this weekend as I get this gauge here in. So talk to you guys later. Bye.